Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lovely day again. It's nowhere near as warm as it has been, which is beautiful because I hate being too warm. So Dave's at the GTI today, so we're going to go up and see what he's up to and what he's going to crack on with. So we'll pick back up when we get there. So yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, so obviously we had the show last week at Newark Showground, UK Car Events European Performance Car Show, which was a really good event. There was a trader there called Polar Dry Ice, who were based in Derby. Had a really good conversation with Polar Dry Ice on that day. Spoke to him about this particular car, spoke to him about all the bits that we're at the moment, and one of the biggest challenges that you've got, certainly with restoration, is you have a choice. You either replace a part with a new part, or you restore a part that is serviceable, restorable, to go back on the vehicle. So if we're going to restore parts to go back on, we still want them to match. You certainly you still want them to match the OEM standard of what it was originally when it came out of the factory. So the only way to do that is proper cleaning. I'm a big advocate of dry ice cleaning. There are positives and negatives, and I hear both sides of the argument, and I'm keen to explore it a little bit further to make my own decision. I've never had anything dry ice in the past, only seen countless Instagram reels and all the rest of it. So one of the things that they were talking about last weekend when we were having the chat, spoke to them about the engine, which you saw on your last video, spoke to them about how I've been spending time cleaning that, the head, the gearbox and all the other parts. Said, why don't you send it down, we'll do a test, we'll show you what we're capable of. Based in Derby, so super local, no drama. So I think what we're going to do is take the engine, head, gearbox and the new front subframe that's got the power steering system on it, take those bits, because then they can all just fit in the back of the car, take them to Polar Dry Ice, get them to give it a go, and if they can produce the results that they are suggesting they can, happy days. We get boxes of the rest of the stuff, we get all that down there as well, and then ultimately everything comes back ready to fit on the car. So in terms of the process of building the car, we know currently there is a significant amount of bodywork, adjustments that need to be done, bit of welding, bit of this, bit of that. Very solid shell, so not a massive challenge, but obviously there's some welding to be done. So we need to strip the car down to ultimately bare shell, so it can be finished off with the welding, and then obviously the paint strip ready to be resprayed. Ultimately, when it's been resprayed, the last thing then you want it to be done is just be sat there, getting dusty, not being done, all the rest of it. As soon as it gets painted, you want to then start putting parts back on the car. So you're in a chicken and egg situation. Do you restore and get all the parts to fit on the car before you get it painted, so they can ultimately go straight onto the vehicle when they go back, or do you get it painted at the same time you do that? So there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just about having the right process to get that done. So I think now we've got Polar Dry Ice on board, let's get some parts across, get it cleaned, and ultimately keep that getting stripped. And then obviously when they come back from being cleaned, a couple of days max to get that done, get them back up here, ready to go back on the car. But ultimately I want the engine and gearbox immaculate, so I can then finally strip them, and then we can start to restore the engine parts, so the bearings, the shells, all that we spoke about on the last time. So same as the gearbox, all the bearings, everything in the gearbox, that will make sure that that's solid as a rock. And then obviously engine and gearbox can be built ready to just transplant back into the car, off the car, sorted, next job. So yeah, a few bits to be done all at the same time, but fingers crossed Polar Dry Ice can produce the goods that they said they could do at the show. So looking forward to seeing the results of that.
Yeah, let's hopefully. I'll show you the gearbox in a second, because you can see actually how filthy the gearbox is and how clean the engine was in the last episode. So yeah, we'll show you that in a second.
Yeah. Happy days.
Right, Dave just mentioned, there you go, you can see the gearbox. Yeah, we're going to take everything out, send it off to get cleaned basically, because you can tell as it should be silver, and it's just absolutely gunked up to absolute eye heaven. Yeah, that gives you a better view of how gunked it actually is on the corners, because you see, blech. So yeah, that's going to get sent off as well and get sorted out. and be rebuilt to new. So everything's coming out of it. see most of that is out now. Just yeah, very dirty and very crap in there. So now it's just the steering column to come out, and then roof lining, B-pillars, and then gear shifter and brake, and I think that will be it for the inside. I think, well, a tiny bit of wiring obviously, but other than that I think everything else has been so yeah, that's pretty much for us today, and I really appreciate everyone watching and liking and subscribing. That helps me massively. It really honestly does, and I'm quite happy about how many views I got on the last one. I know it's got a lot, but I've only just started doing the car thing, and I'm actually really pleased at what you lot have done for me. So yeah, but thank you again for watching, and thank you for liking. Just pop us a thumbs up, will you? I'd really would appreciate that. It would help me massively. And hopefully we'll be back down again in a couple of weeks, or hopefully soon in a couple of weeks, hopefully at the weekend. But we'll see what goes off then, and we'll try and sort it from then. But yeah, thank you very much again. I do appreciate you all very much. If you have any hints, tricks or tips for me for the old girl, for doing a bit more work on it, or getting stuff, or finding various parts. If you want to know who I use for my parts, I use a guy called Matthew Palmer. I use Brendon Moss, and I use, sorry Tommy, I'm going to butcher your last name, I'm really struggling with your last name. Tommy Bazzatti, I think his last name is pronounced. I do apologise, I probably absolutely butchered that, I didn't mean to. But sorry Tommy, but you are an absolute legend with parts. So if anybody ever needs Mark II parts, they're the three people I would recommend. Brendon Moss, Matthew Palmer, and Tommy Bazzatti, or however you pronounce his name, I'm really sorry. But yeah, he's French and he's pretty good at finding stuff. So they're the main three people that I use to find my parts, as well as obviously me looking everywhere else again, trying to get the parts that I need, and finding myself, because obviously it's a lot cheaper for me to find the parts than it is for paying other people to try and find the parts for me. Don't get wrong, there's still a couple of bits missing. I really am desperate to find these parts. So maybe the next episode I will show you the parts that I am missing. It's mainly only one thing. It's the big thing as well, one of the rarest parts that I believe they did, and I don't think it come to the UK. I only think it went to left-hand drive countries. That might give you a bit of a hint, because I do believe the stuff I've got for this car never come for right-hand drive, it only went for left-hand drive. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much again. I really do appreciate everyone watching and subscribing. If, like I said, if you've got any hints or tricks on me, either for the YouTube or for the car, then please, yeah, just drop us a message, give us a shout or whatever, and we'll take it from there. But thank you again. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic weekend, and look after yourselves and take care. Bye bye. New clutch or new bearings, a lot like Dave said, so it should be sorted soon.